I'm trying to make this quick actually, but what do folks? Welcome to week 52 of a YouTube Ghost journey. So I think this pretty much concludes that it's been 1 full year now since I did start this whole series. It looks like near the ending parts of this. Well, this is not ending, but it looks like the ending for this whole year of me being consistent with this. Something good actually happened, you know. First of all, the short series I made with who pretty much got the N-word pass for Pokemon was a major success, mainly on IG and YouTube, not so much on TikTok, but I really don't give that much fucks about TikTok since it doesn't pay me anyway. IG doesn't pay, but at least it got me a lot of IG followers, right? But looking at it right now, I think I've accumulated over 1.5 million views in just 7 days. So a really good milestone. I mean, before that, I had like accumulatively million something views over like many years, you know. So to just get that in a week is pretty good, as well as it got me 5,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool as well. Also a bit more engagement on posts, which makes me a little bit happy as well, since I always try to keep those engaging. Well, engagement plus engaging, but my point is that I like to see interaction when I post something on my community post. So it's nice to see that I got a little more attention to it. And in fact, my latest video, once again, the wedlock, seemed to actually be doing decent right now. It's been out for 2 days and sitting out 5.6k views. It's had pretty much a better performance than the Platinum Kaiser one, which I'm still a bit sad over because I did put a lot more effort into that one and I really didn't want that one to bang, but it is what it fucking is. I'm not gonna sit and cry about it for too long. But it seems that it's at least going well. Soon I'm actually going to be done with this whole who got the pass challenge for the Pokemon, and I'll start planning on what I should make next. But I think I at least have somewhat of a short audience now because of how this series blew up, as well as on IG. So I'm gonna try to do something similar. I don't want it to be remembered to be the guy who says who got the pass for Pokemon, but you know, at least try to keep some sort of fundamental ideas from this successful series I had with shorts. You know, he's trying to find what I can extrapolate. I already had some ideas written down already, but I will see. Obviously, I will see. I will get to that when I get to that. I'll also have to fucking like, I have to edit so much because I have to like leave tomorrow. I'm recording this on Friday. I have to leave tomorrow on Saturday because I'm going over the weekend to family and stuff. So I have to pre-record this shit, make sure I have this all ready and posted, and then I have to pretty much send over some videos on my phone if I want to upload the last 2 videos for this challenge thing. So not challenge thing, the N-word pass thing. But I'll fix it. But I really don't have too much to say, you know. Sometimes I do speak about my own sort of personal life with gym and stuff, and I guess I might as well add onto it in this video. But I've really been locked in with the gym, you know. I really want to reach a new level with my physique and just the type of person I am. I recently looked myself in the mirror and realized I'm not happy with what I see. It might sound, you know, relatable to many, that they're not comfortable with how they look, but for a long amount of time, since I did change drastically from when I first started working out, I got a good decent amount of muscle. People gassed me up, you know. I had a little bit of visible abs, but it wasn't anything crazy. Now obviously it's not a fitness channel, but my goal is to genuinely reach like around 10 to 12% body fat. And if you're not familiar with like these terms, or you don't really know what that looks like, basically like you just constantly fucking rip. Like you take off your shirt, your abs are popping, and you don't even gotta flex. I don't have that right now. In fact, I have a little bit of a belly, but I want to say I'm like fat. When I flex, you can see a bit of like ab definition for sure, but I'm not satisfied. I want more. And for a long time, I really thought I was leaner than I believed I was. And the gym has always been a big part of me. I mean, the gym was something I started before I even started YouTube. And I say this, well, I've said it throughout videos, but it sort of gave me the foundation, like the discipline I could transfer over to my content, you know, staying consistent with stuff, pushing myself despite when things are hard. And I just don't want to be like everybody else. This also, you know, It's apparent in my videos, especially with the message I leave at the end of them all. And just, you know, in general, like, I don't want to be just the average guy, you know. I have other interests, I have other stuff I improve, even though I may not talk about them openly. I feel like I'm a pretty intellectual guy, and even though I run an, I guess, entertainment-based channel, because, you know, I make entertaining video, not more so, I guess, the philosophical ones or whatever, but I really do take into account a lot of things and the type of person I want to become. In fact, I started asking myself questions, what type of man I want to be, you know? And this is something the average person really don't ask themselves. Like, ask like all of your friends, like, when was the last time they asked like who they want to be as a person, you know? And what, you know, sort of inspiration I want to be, role model, you know? I had someone comment on my latest video, actually. I'm gonna read it up as well, just to kind of hit home a little bit. Let's see what he said. Fuck, please let me find it. He said, oh, they're actually not gonna show me this comment. I fucking hate YouTube, bro. Was YouTube so annoying, bro? Like, okay, I see. It was, of course, it was the bottom. They said, yo, this video is amazing, real impressive editing. I love the storytelling. Don't listen to anyone telling you to stop, bro. Your content is amazing. As another black Pokemon fan and creator, your videos and personality resonated with me on another level. No matter where you are in your journey, I'll be there, don't worry. You know, when I hear stuff like that, I think to myself, like, this shit really is just bigger than content, though. And someone could read that and completely be like, oh, thanks, like, I don't really care that much. They might just say thanks and move on, but because I've always been trying to look at things at a bigger perspective, on a deeper level. You know, PewDiePie was born and raised in the same city as me. If you don't know, I'm born in Sweden and I live in Sweden, Gothenburg City. And to see that someone, you know, became a YouTuber at a mass success, you know, indirectly inspired me too. You know, maybe not to a huge, large degree, but it's still like, damn, like, he was really from the same city as me. You know, I've got multiple comments before, you know, about just me being like black and how it's, you know, inspired some to sort of embrace, you know, whether it be some nerdy shit like Pokemon or just aspiring content creators. And I really want to, you know, become a big figure and really show what's possible, and that you don't need to like look a certain way to like something, or, you know, like, you don't gotta be boxed in a specific type of, I guess, image, or what a, I guess in this case, a Pokemon fan should be. People know I'm unapologetic, loud, funny. I don't like to beat around, like, I don't like to like hold myself back, like bite my tongue, like, you know. I feel like the Pokemon community is very PR. That's like the best way to describe it, like very PR, you know, and a bit soft too, to be honest. But there's a whole different fucking discussion. But especially when I look at this series that I did with the N-word pass, like, you see this random fucking guy with shades and a do-rag on. He's like, hey, like, who actually could get the pass? Like, you know, it's so funny to see how many people resonated with it too. Like, so many people in comments, like still my favorite one. He's like, as a lighter individual, I'm astonished that one of my shoutouts are being answered right now. And someone's like, peak content. Another one was like, a very intellectual and philosophical debate, you know, shit like that, you know. And it's really nice to see that there are people like this within the space, you know, who resonate with a sense of, with a certain type of humor, or even when it comes to my editing, like, they really fuck with the whole anime vibe style, all that shit I have going for it. And it's just more reason to keep on going, because at the end of the day, I'm aiming for the top, bro. Every single other YouTuber within this space, I'm literally aiming to crush them, bro. And this is not in some like rude sort of like not demeaning, but like degrading way, you know. I just aim to surpass you and become better than you, you know. In fact, I always think I'm better than many people, you know. I don't think a lot of people don't really have the work ethic. And when I say work ethic, I really mean just like putting in the work. Now, of course, you don't only want to do like hard work, but also gotta do smart work. And I feel like I've been working more smart recently, especially with some videos. I mean, I still put in a lot of fucking work. Depending on the projects, I may not edit like crazy, but I might be writing some scripts after like, you know, a 5-hour editing session or some shit. I'm always keeping that momentum up, because I'm not gonna fucking bullshit myself and sort of feed into this like a mindset that I'm just not a hard worker, you know? Like, everybody got different limits, you know? Everybody works different, everybody got different motivations, but just in general, like people, like they don't actually work hard. They haven't actually pushed themselves. And whether it be friends, family, like some people, that's just be bullshitting. But at the end of the day, it's none of my business because the way I move, I know will get me towards my goals, you know? Because I know I'm giving it my all. I'm not bullshitting. In fact, I didn't even want to record this video right now. I didn't. I just wanted to go to bed. Actually, I'm gonna start Snowfall. Like, I've been fucking meaning to watch this series. Everybody be talking about that shit, bro. For this guy called Franklin Saint. Ooh, I'm getting excited to even talk about this shit right now. But no, like I was saying, I feel like a lot of people bullshit the amount of work they do. Anyone in general, honestly. I'm a very disciplined person, you know. I'm very to myself in person. You know, I worked a couple of jobs and I kept this YouTube thing very low key for like ages, bro. Only certain people found out, obviously. But I'm just very to myself. And I don't mind, you know. I could literally tomorrow gain 100,000 subscribers and I would still keep it quiet around at work. Because first of all, I have nothing to prove to anybody there. Second, I don't want to be like revealing everything. You know, there might be people that are some haters or anything could really happen. But obviously, if they see my clips and ask me about it, I will, of course, fucking talk about it. But, you know, it's just, I'm very to myself. Because I've learned a lot of things and seen a lot of things what happens when you expose your big, ambitious goals. That's why I just go in, clock in, make some small talk, and stash them in my bread. You know, the 2-year plan is still a thing I'm planning to do. And if you're not familiar with the 2-year plan, it's basically the plan where I use a lump sum of money to fully lock in on YouTube. You know, we had some great success this summer. And I'm really glad that I was able to put out a series like this and really see virality. Like, when I look at all these videos that are lined up in front of me right now, it really did go viral. Like, I got 1.5 million, like 1.5 million plus. It's probably more than that now, but like a lot of fucking views from this series. And I should be proud of myself. You know, I should be proud of myself because I've always been the guy to show up, put in the work, really give it my all. Because I'm not one of these YouTubers who just put out some shit, low effort. I'm one of the ones who plan to stay in the long game for a long ass time, become a big name, a millionaire. You know, a lot of these goals that I had that I may not be so open about because people just wouldn't get it. You know, a lot of people talk about becoming successful millionaires and all this, but what do they actually do on a daily basis to get there? You know, I actually start to reread one of my favorite books. I say favorite books, but I read like 5 books, bro. But it's a pretty good fucking book. Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. It's a good book that gives you some nice financial foundations, especially, and sets you towards the trajectory of becoming a millionaire. But obviously, there's some practical shit that you gotta do as well, which I'm implementing. You know, but framing my mind differently towards money. And this is a whole different topic too. I don't want to just gonna rant about this for like a whole nother hour, but people are often, you know, not willing to let go of their old ways, you know, especially when it's something negative. And with time, you just have to change. We're diving into something like another fucking topic, but this is why low-key, when I think of like who I want to be with in the future, like partner-wise, I really just gotta be with someone who actually constantly wants to evolve. Like, I'm not saying like every like 3 months you gotta make some drastic change, but you really gotta seek to just improve yourself, you know, whether it be financially, mentally, physically, like something, you know. Obviously, the current grind around is just fucking getting lean and wealthy, you know, like the grind, like really making this my full-time job. But hey, let's see what the next year has in front of us, you know. I'm just glad we actually had a good ending for this series, though. Like, after a year, like the series not ending, but I'm glad we got a good end for like being consistent for a year, though. It's nice, you know. It's nice, and it's funny, you know. Success isn't linear. As I said, I gained 5K subs in like fucking a month. Sorry, in a week. While you know, in other periods it took way longer to get to like different subscriber milestones. But we're getting aura to our name. The striker community, the sub count. I don't care too much about the sub count because it is from shorts after all, but it's nice social proof. It looks good. when people ask me about YouTube and I speak about it, it sounds like it holds a lot more weight. Yeah, I have 15,000 subscribers. You're like, damn, 15,000, you know? But yes. I'm head off now. Brush my teeth, go to bed, enjoy snowfall. Thanks so much for listening to this video. And shit, I don't know what to say, bro. If you lurkers want to come out and say something now, like, go ahead. I don't know, but y'all have an amazing day.